First things first, co-host Chris Broussard. Chris, what do you think here? How do you explain Embiid's performance last night?
Well, it's certainly hard to explain because it wasn't very good, his performance. But to address what Barkley said, it's possible, and Embiid addressed it and said, look, I knew weeks ago when an ESPN article came out that they polled a lot of the voters and Jokic won. And I looked at that poll, too, and at the time, I just talking to people around the league, some voters, looking at polls like that, it was evident Jokic was going to win. But if you're in Embiid's shoes, thinking something's going to happen but not knowing it for sure is different once you know it with certainty.
Correct.
And even if he felt, it looks like Jokic is going to win, I'm sure once it came out and it was virtually official, that's different. And that probably hit him in a different way. So I do think it's possible that it affected him. But guys, when the news came out that Jokic won it, I was saying, Miami might pay for this. Like, I thought Embiid would be motivated by it. And instead, if it affected him, he was defeated by it. Mm-hmm. So I really thought he'd go out and have a great game. And if anything, the MVP snub, in his view, would motivate him to destroy Miami. But, guys, I'm going to go at a different reason. And it's been a criticism I've had of Embiid for years now, really since he became a great player. He doesn't play to his size. And he's awesome. And his mid-range jump shot is one of the best in the league. But if you look at the highlights we showed at the top of the segment, they were all jump shots. I looked at every shot he took. He's catching it at the elbow. He's dribbling between his legs at the foul line. He's shooting jumpers. He might as well be 6'5" right there. And sometimes he posts up. He posts up more than most players nowadays. But the benefit of being that big and being that powerful and having a post game is that when your jumper is off, you can go down low and punish the defense. Bam Adebayo looks tiny next to Joel Embiid. I mean, he looks like a son trying to guard his father. And Embiid didn't make him pay. You can either go down there and score, you can either go down there and draw double teams and kick it out to your shooters, or you can go down there and draw fouls. And he only got 3 free throw attempts last night. Now, maybe he doesn't want to go down there and bang because of the face, maybe even the thumb. Obviously, you're going to hit more contact down there. But I just think that on a night when you're not hitting all your jump shots, you should go down on the post, especially being that big. He's humongous. And he might as well have been a 6'4" guard the way he played last night offensively. So I'm going to blame that because he didn't use his size to get easy buckets last night.
Well, I don't know if I'm agree with you, but I think the thing is we don't know for certain. But it sure seemed like the news of him not winning the MVP impacted him. And he talked about it a month ago. He's like, if I don't win it now, that means the voters just don't like me. And he's human, and things of that nature is going to bother you. And you're right, Chris. Sometimes you can prepare for something. We prepare for a lot of things. But when the realization is, damn, I didn't get that job, or I didn't get that promotion, or I didn't get that raise, it bothers him. And it shouldn't have, what more motivation do you need? Not only did you not get the MVP, but you're in a 2-2 series and Game 5. And 82% of the Game 5 winners normally go on and win the series. You could have put a stranglehold on this series because you won Game 5 on their court, and now you're going home to close their ass out in Game 6 on your court. And you give me what? You give me 6 shots in the first half? What am I supposed to do with 17 and 5?
Say that again. 5 rebounds in 33 minutes? 5?
Chris.
And as Chris said, you got the free throw line 3 times?
3 times.
In 33 minutes?
So you gave me 13 fewer points than what you gave me in the regular season, and you gave me basically 7 fewer rebounds than what you gave me in the regular season. And I'm supposed to do what with that? Come on, Joel. I needed to see that Joel that I saw in the third quarter. Chris, did you see him in the third quarter? He was 5 or 6, scored 11 points. That's what I needed to see in the first quarter or the second quarter. I know you got it in you. Oh, y'all don't want to give me that award. Ooh, I'm finna beat somebody. I'm finna beat somebody down tonight.
Right.
Thank you.
I get what they did. They give Spo credit. They say, you know what? We coming out in this zone. I'm not finna let Joel Embiid punish Bam. I'm not gonna let him punish Dedmon because that's what he has started getting to a rhythm. His first game back, Chris, he was 17-11. The next game back, he was 24-11. So he was starting to catch his rhythm. They tried to go one-on-one. So they played him a zone, say, you know what? I'm gonna see if Danny Green can hit another 7-3, Skip. I'm gonna see if Tobias Harris and Tyrese Maxey came a little bit down. He had 9 points last night. But I'm not letting Joel, but I was disappointed, like everybody was, that you hear they weren't engaged or we didn't play with it, we didn't match their, what? Man, it's game 5. What you mean you ain't matched their intensity? What you mean on the defensive end? What, man, y'all better get out of here with that foolishness. This is unacceptable. And Charles was saying, well, you know, one of the guys need to tell him, hey, Joel, you the MVP. Skip, these guys today, you can't talk to these superstars. They so touched, oh, you hurt my feeling, bro. We falling out, and now I gotta unfollow you on IG, and I ain't gonna speak to you. It's not like it used to be. Because guys would tell you, man, if you messing up, you messing up. But it's almost like you stepping on eggshells around these superstars now. Man, time out for this, Joel. You too big for this. You lost the award. He make it seem like he 40 years, like he LeBron, Skip. He 37, and he ain't gonna have another chance to win the award.
Okay, it's my turn.
Yep.
I have heard enough. I have seen enough. I'm done with Joel Embiid. I have defended him. I have supported him. I have pubbed him on this show for years because I believed he had all the makings of best player on the planet. I told Mr. Sharp across me yesterday, this is his opportunity to take control of this series and effectively say to the MVP voters, did you see what I just did to them? And this was the team, the Heat, that I picked to win it all. And I thought that Joel Embiid, it started with him in games 3 and 4. I thought he had reimposed his will on Bam and company because he was the best player on the floor in games 3 and 4. And I thought, silly me, that he would be by far the best player on the floor last night. And I'm not sure that was even him. Was that an imposter out there?
Yeah,
and as he went or didn't go, so didn't go his teammates.
Right.
And look, you can accuse me and dismiss me of being a grumpy old man today, but I did have the privilege and the honor of getting spoiled by covering Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. And I can go on and on. And in those days, in those games, there was none of this BS. There was none of this, I didn't get the MVP. I don't think I can play. I'm going to pout tonight. Can you imagine?
What did Jordan do to Karl Malone when Karl Malone got that MVP?
Lord have mercy. That's what they all did. They showed up
Elijah
and they played.
Robinson.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. And Joel, he's talking like this after the game. No, I'm not mad about the MVP. And then he just goes on and on. The more he talked, the madder he seemed to get about it, right?
Yeah.
And then he says, I'm in a lose-lose proposition. If I don't play, you say I'm soft. If I do play and I play badly, then you say I'm not good enough. Well, it was clear he just didn't want to play last night. Okay, well, what? This game 5, it's going to be over. Your coach is going to get fired. I promise you, Doc Rivers just might be coaching his last game tomorrow night because somebody's going to have to pay for what Joel didn't do last night, and it's almost certainly going to be that coach. Well, what is that? Doc was relegated to saying after the game, we just weren't engaged. You weren't engaged?
In game 5 in a 2-2 series.
What? How can I defend this man anymore? Because every time you want to trust Joel, every time you need him to rise and shine, he doesn't. Because there's always something wrong. He's hurt, or he's sick, or he's pouting. Really? Well, in the end, I've just seen enough. I can't do it anymore. I did think he had a chance to make another statement last night. I'm the best player on the planet.
Right.
No, you didn't. Just go on back to Philadelphia and let's get this over with so
Chris,
you can go into your offseason.
Chris, have you seen anything? I mean, they had 2 quarters in which they scored 19 points, and they never scored more than 25 in a quarter. And we're supposed to think that you're ready to play. In today's game, it should be a travesty that you score 85 points in today's game.
Travesty.
Yep. No doubt. And look, I'm an official voter. I voted for Giannis. I had Embiid second on my ballot, and I had Jokic third. And one of the reasons, because it was close, right? All three of those guys, very close. And one of the reasons I went with Giannis over Embiid, because I had Embiid most of the season as my front runner for MVP. And late in the season, they had a 2-game. They played Denver against Jokic, and they played Milwaukee. And I think we always criticize Harden, right? He hadn't stepped up in the big moments. He shrinks, this and that. And I've seen some of that with Embiid. Those seasons in the past against Boston when they lose in the playoffs and they seem like they're the better team, but they didn't execute. We blame Brett Brown, the former coach. We blame Ben Simmons. But Embiid always escaped blame. He never took over, though, in those situations. And then against Denver in the regular season, game against Jokic, Embiid playing well. 3 for 3 from three-point land. At the end of the game, he has an open three. Jokic is giving him because he's backing off, and he passes it to George Yang in the corner. Yang was 2 for 10 from 3. Yang takes the shot and misses. And then you guys all remember against Milwaukee.
Yep.
When he had the chance, he got a rebound late. Should have went up and dunked it, or at least tried. He tried to throw up a weak layup, and Giannis blocks it. Those two critical moments when he could have took control, and Giannis instead took control, and then went to Brooklyn and beat KD and Kyrie, that's when I said, I got to give it to Giannis, because it's very close, but he'll step up in those moments.